Every day at 12:30, we will be right here live with the biggest news in Arizona sports, along with in-depth features on interesting sports stories from all across the state. Today's top stories: ASU women's basketball looks to recover after a tough weekend in Southern California. Cheerleading takes a step closer to the Olympics, and the greatest show on grass tees it up this week. But first, the Coyotes step off the ice and into education. It is the third day of full squad workouts for the Brewers. One of the big stories today is Natali Feliz, who is finally here at camp. He was late due to issues with his visa, but he's here, and the Brewers are looking at him to fulfill that closer role. Other pitchers to watch today: Willie Peralta and Jorge Lopez. They will be throwing their first live BP sessions, and they're a little bit ahead of some of the other pitchers because they will be leaving for the World Baseball Classic. The other pitchers will start their live BPs on Wednesday. The Coyotes start the second half of the season at home with games against the Los Angeles Kings tomorrow and Chicago Blackhawks on Thursday. Saturday, they travel to San Jose to take on the Sharks. Although the Coyotes season has been a disappointment, goalie Mike Smith was rewarded with his first ever All-Star Game selection. He spent the weekend in Los Angeles playing with the NHL's best, and the 34-year-old had a great time.
All in all, the experience was great. Had a lot of fun, and I don't need a hug after this is all said and done. So it's nice.
Doug, as part of Fan Appreciation Night, we have a special surprise for you. So let's take a look at the video board to see a clue about what you've won.
4 days and 360 degrees of excellence takes over the Strip.
Doug, congratulations. You've won the ultimate Vegas experience to see the Sun Devils play in the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament. Part of this experience includes 2 passes to the tournament, a 4-night stay at an MGM property, show tickets, and vouchers for food, beverage, and airfare. Doug, congratulations. It's the fourth quarter, and that means it's t-shirt time. Stand up and make some noise for one of those flying fourth quarter t-shirts.
Sogard's big break at ASU came at the hands of some soda pop. Murphy was a huge soda drinker, so when Sogard recovered some soda for him, it earned him an at-bat in a huge game. It was the 2005 Super Regional, and Sogard had to find Murphy a Diet Dr. Pepper. Succeed, and he'd get to hit.
Sure enough, he went outside the stadium, went to a store and found the Diet Dr. Pepper.
Now, you mentioned that Arizona is kind of like a home away from home for you. So what are some of your favorite destinations out here in Arizona?
Well, I have a lot of good friends, Joe Diggs and those guys at the W. That's why I come out here during my off season, is to enjoy it. The weather's great, spring training starting up. So, anytime we head west, I try to make my way to Phoenix if I can.
Now, speaking of spring training, did you play baseball growing up? Were you a big baseball kid?
I did. I think every kid at some point takes in baseball.
Now, I've noticed that your team is big on the handshakes. You guys got a lot of unique ones going on there. So can you just talk about how that came about, how long you guys have been doing that?
Kind of started before the season, just kind of enhances our brotherhood. Everybody's got a specific one with each guy, and it's just what's special to each of them. So kind of before the games, we all get together, do our thing, and just gets us ready to go.
The ballpark's fairly new for you guys. You moved here in 2012. Can you just talk a little bit about what it's like to play here?
It's a lot of fun, especially when we get a crowd like this. It makes pitching a lot of fun. The adrenaline rushes, and especially when all the fans just roaring, it's a lot of fun.
What is your favorite part about it, if you had to pick one thing?
How big it is. Makes pitching a lot easier. You can miss over the plate, and your outfield will still go get it.
Last month, the International Olympic Committee considers cheerleading to be counted as a sport in the Olympic Games. Cronkite News reporter Delaney Wood visits Desert Storm Elite in Scottsdale to find out how this transition could evolve.
Fans, it's time for the Whataburger pedometer race. Tonight we have 2 Sun Devils who will be competing to get as many pedometer steps on their head as they can to win free Whataburger for their entire section. Tonight we have Section E represented by Cody Justice and Section R by Ramon Villa. So fans, make some noise for your section if you want that free Whataburger.
3, 2, 1.
Looks like Ramon Waterman, which means Section R, you all just won some free Whataburger. Congratulations. Whataburger is proud to serve it hot and fresh 24 hours a day from 18 different Valley locations.
How has he tried to get you guys to push for those 60 minutes? What have you guys been doing to try and reach that point?
Well, we're a young team, so Coach, he just he gets on us about preparation.
Now, this is a young team, like he said, which is good for the future, of course, because they're getting all these reps now. So then down the road when they're seniors, that's going to be a great thing for them. A lot of the young guys are the ones that, are leading in scoring. This Friday, for the first time in college football history, Arizona State is facing UTSA.
The bad news for the Roadrunners, their rush defense has been struggling. And with the two-headed monster of Kalen Ballage and Demario Richard, UTSA is going to have their hands full.
Last week, UTSA allowed 220 yards on the ground to Colorado State. The Sun Devil defense will have to watch out for running backs Jarvion Williams and Jalen Rhodes, as well as wide receiver Kerry Thomas.
Fans, I'm your host Megan, and I'd like to welcome you to today's game against USC. I'm here with today's Vivid Seats VIP upgrade winner who received a $25 gift card from Vivid Seats to use toward any game, concert, or show. And fans, whenever you need tickets for an event, visit vividseats.com/Sun Devils for all of your ASU ticket needs. Fans, it's almost time for Brickin' for Chicken presented by Chick-fil-A. If the Trojans miss 2 consecutive free throws at any point in the second half, everyone in the arena gets free Chick-fil-A. So make sure you join the 942 crew and make as much noise as you can anytime the Trojans are at the line.
Welcome to Cronkite Sports Now on Facebook Live. I'm Megan Plain. From records set at the Phoenix Open to a return to uncertainty for the Coyotes' future, it was an eventful sports weekend here in the Valley. ASU's men's and women's basketball teams both faced the Oregon schools over the weekend. The men's traveled north and split their games. They lost to the Oregon Ducks and then defeated the Beavers of Oregon State. The men are back at home this week to take on Cal and Stanford. ASU's women's basketball team also split their games against the Oregon schools. At home, they managed to defeat the Oregon Ducks after losing to Oregon State. The women's team hits the road this week for rematches against the Washington schools. The Brewers are coming off of a 6-3 loss against the Royals, where Zach Davies got the nod on the mound. He threw 1 scoreless inning and had 2 strikeouts. While we don't know what the starting rotation will look like by opening day, today Chase Anderson will be making his Cactus League debut. Also in today's lineup, Scooter Gannett will be starting at third base, his second time there this spring after starting in left field Game 1. He'll be batting in the 3-hole, and then batting in the 9-hole is going to be Eric Sogard, who will be starting at shortstop. The Brewers are looking to bounce back today with a 105 game against the Reds at home. Arizona State baseball season is less than a month away, and Friday marked the first official practice for college baseball teams around the country. The Sun Devils have plenty of new faces around the diamond, notable position battles at catcher, shortstop, and left field. The team also has a new pitching coach, though he's no stranger to the program. Former pitching coach Brandon Higgelin is out, and head coach Tracy Smith has taken it upon himself to cultivate his team's arms.
You know, you become, in particular a program like this, you're a head coach, and it takes on some of the characteristics more or less of a CEO.
ASU's men's team split their games against the Washington schools at home last week. They defeated the Huskies of Washington, then lost to Washington State Cougars. The men travel north to take on the Oregon schools this week.
I'm here with this week's Coca-Cola Refresher Seats winners who received 4 upgraded seats to tonight's game. Try Game Changer of your own and download the Sun Devil Rewards app where you can earn exclusive VIP experiences just like this. It's a little bit of gratitude for your Sun Devil attitude. And fans, they're also hooking it up with some t-shirts. So stand up and make some noise if you want a t-shirt courtesy of Coca-Cola.
First, we begin with some very good news. Carson Palmer announced Thursday that he's coming back to the Cardinals. The news came 8 days after wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald announced he is returning for the 2017 season. Palmer said he wanted to take some time during the offseason to assess where he was physically and mentally. In 2016, he threw for over 4,000 yards with 26 touchdowns. Fitzgerald and Palmer's announcements inspired our tweet of the day from the Arizona Cardinals. The takeoff on the Blues Brothers movie has Larry and Carson taking on the roles of Jake and Elmore Blues. They're on a mission from God. On Saturday night, the Phoenix Suns surrendered 137 points in a loss to Milwaukee. The team has now lost 6 of their last 7 games. With only 6 games left until the All-Star break, the Suns will look for a strong finish to the first half of the season. With a 2-game road trip on the horizon, Coach Watson says he's not worried about his team's recent struggles. Watson has welcomed the challenge as a teaching opportunity for his young team.
I don't have concerns or teaching opportunities. Pick and roll defense, defending the corner 3, a chance to go over our fundamentals and our foundation, and as far as defense philosophies. Guys went hard today. Still optimistic, still a lot of time to play.
The 2-game road trip begins tonight in New Orleans with the Suns taking on the Pelicans. On Wednesday night, the Suns will head to Memphis for a showdown with the Grizzlies. The Suns will then return to Phoenix, where they will play host to the Chicago Bulls on Friday night. That's it for this episode of Cronkite Sports Now on Facebook Live. Check out our stories about sports from all across the valley in the Cronkite News sports section on ArizonaSports.com. And for top news stories from around Arizona, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org. And be sure to tune into Arizona PBS tonight and every night at 5 p.m. for Cronkite News. For all of us here at the Phoenix Sports Bureau of Cronkite News, I'm Megan Plain. We will be here live again tomorrow at 12:30 with more of the biggest sports news in Arizona sports, along with in-depth features on interesting sports stories from across the state.